everyone, and welcome back to the Traveling Knitter channel. My name is Steph, and this is the April. Oh my god, every single time. This is the April episode where I talk about all the things that I've worked on in April. I have 2 finished objects. But before we jump into that, I thought I would talk about the item that I am wearing, which is escaping me on the name. It's in a Pom Pom magazine. This one, it's the botanical one. And it's called the Argyle, A-R-G-I-L by Claire Lakewood. And mine uses almost the exact same colors. My body is the main, my contrasting is a very, very, very light pink. It's more of like a off-white pink. So I'll have some footage of me wearing it. My thoughts. So I've worn it a couple times, and my issue is the top part. So I don't know if my shoulders are just not that broad, even though I thought they kind of were. I need this to be closer in. So I think all I'm gonna, and you can see how wide this is. If I were to knit this again, I would have less stitches here. So, and I believe, yeah, this is like a cast off and you're knitting up, I believe. So I think for this, as I'm going back and forth, I guess just have less. It's not that I want less stitches. I like this amount of ease. It's that I need this to be in further, because it's not the cleavage that I'm disliking. Like I don't care about that. It's the fact that the sleeve, the bands, the shoulder straps, they're too far off my shoulder. They're at the point, like you can kind of, and I wore this just to demonstrate. When I wear this, I typically don't wear a bra, but this is what's happening. It's like when your shoulder strap, it's like your bra straps just don't stay on. That's what happens, and then it comes off. And yeah, so to fix that, I think if I just tack it in like that, I think it'll pull the shoulders in a bit more, or the sleeves a bit more. So you can see this bra strap is basically where I would prefer them to be. Right? They're not that. Here, I'll do that. That's normal, right? It's not like it's like, right? That's where these are sitting, is off there, and it's like off the shoulder, and it's very uncomfortable. So that's something I don't love. I definitely thought this would stretch more when I blocked it. It basically didn't grow at all. I thought it would loosen up. It's made out of the yarn that is called for, which is Quince & Co. Quince & Co Sparrow and Quince & Co Tern. Tern is the stripe, the little tiny stripe part, and that is a wool silk fingering, and then Sparrow is a 4-ply flax linen. So the more I wear it, the more I like it. When I first put it on, I definitely was like, oh, I don't love this. And another thing that I don't like, I thought the fabric for this knot part would be thinner. It makes that's a pretty big knot, right? Like bulky. So when I'm wearing it, and I had like a sweater over it, and it was just like this blob right here. So it's bulkier than I thought. Maybe that's my fault because I extended I extended these because in the pattern, I think they ended like here. And I just thought that's going to be really awkward to tie. So, I don't know. Like, I like the little keyhole. I think the keyhole's cute. If I don't have the keyhole, then what happens is it's too short. Like it's cropped. Like this is where my ribs end and my hips are here. So I think that would be the other thing I would do. I would lengthen this. Like I would lengthen it quite a bit so then I could wear it like this, because I don't like the way it looks like that, versus if I have it a bit further down, then it's not pulling all of the fabric up. Then you do get like, so this is, you know, higher than this, but yeah, so just some thoughts about that. I like it. I would make it again. It was sitting in my basket for weaving in ends for forever, which is probably why I've never shown it to you, because of that. So, okay, let's talk finished object that I'm very happy about. It is my azalea pullover. And this was a failed test knit. The saga of the yarn and all of that. That is in other episodes. I don't feel like I need to talk about it. Here it is. This was knit out of Drops Air. And I've said this before. Of blown yarn, I've used Drops Air and Knit Picks Wonderfluff. Wonderfluff is better. It is more consistent. As I was weaving in the ends, I remembered there was lots of really long ends where I would come to parts where there was nothing in the tubing. And I would just kind of like make a long loop and then just start knitting again. And so then I had this long loop that I had to weave in basically as an end. And I didn't cut my yarn basically. I just pretended I cut it and then kept going. So Drops has better colors than Wonderfluff, Knit Picks Wonderfluff, but if you're seeing similar colors for both, I would get the Knit Picks one if you can. I realized I didn't have my light on. So here it is. It turned out so nice. I am going to do, I don't think I'm even gonna block this. I like the size that it is exactly as it is. The pattern is by Knits by Giselle. And if you're interested, the pattern is up, it's for sale. I loved it. I had a lot of fun and it didn't take nearly as long as I thought. And I really like the bee stitch. I totally want a sweater that's just in bee stitch. I love that so much. So there it is. It was a fun construction. I hadn't done this type of construction before. The shoulder is actually like the shoulder seams on the back to pull the front down a bit. But there you go. What would I do differently on this one? I think I would make the cuffs a little bit longer, and I would have dropped down a needle size. The pattern had you continue in the same. I would have dropped down to make them a little bit, come in a little bit more, but then have them be a little bit longer. Because I feel like these are gonna end up stretching out, but we'll see, maybe I'm wrong. I'm so excited for this guy. I can definitely already see that I'll be wearing this one. Then for the one that is a bit of a disappointment, and it's not the pattern, it's my yarn / the swatch. So This is a test knit for making stories. And I swatched. And my swatch did not grow when I blocked it. I measured it before it was blocked, or before it was wet, and then after it was dry. It did not move, barely at all. I did it 2 times because I thought that was weird. This grew insanely, and you'll see in my videos. I am so disappointed about this. I'm so disappointed. It's so much longer than it was supposed to be. And the sleeves are so much longer than they're supposed to be. I wish I hadn't blocked this, because pre-blocking, the sleeves were their sleeves were a smidge short, because per my swatch, it was gonna grow a little bit. So I had it so that the sleeves would grow just a bit. And then the body I did want to grow because the body was a bit short. It's like a tunic now. It looks like something I would have worn in the like early 2000s to late 2000s, which I guess was peplum time, but right? I'm sad. So here are my thoughts of what I could do. I could just cut the sleeve because there's no shaping. So I could cut it here, remove this much, and then seam it together. I don't want to redo this because that takes a while. So I could do that, and then I could do the same with the body. What I was thinking about doing, I did knit the peplum for as long as it wanted, but I feel like it's short. It's more of a ruffle than a peplum in my opinion. So I might extend the peplum. The thing that I'm not looking forward to is the bind off. This bind off took me 2.5 soccer games. Yep. And NWSL soccer games are no longer 90 minutes. They are oftentimes 100 minutes, 110 minutes, 120 minutes. They're so freaking long now because VAR adds like 10 minutes every single time. Like you're surprised if you only get 3 minutes of extra time. And that happens twice. So in the first half of 45, you get 12 minutes of extra time. Then the second half, you get 15 minutes of extra time. You've almost played an additional half. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is it was like 3 hours plus that it took me to do this bind off. It was so time consuming, and the ruffle is already really like there's a lot going on here. So there's a lot of stitches. So yeah, what a disappointment, right? Like, what a bummer. What a bummer. As it stands, I wouldn't wear this. It's a no. It's a no. Now, what I could also just do is just get rid of the peplum part and just leave it as a oversized t-shirt. I do need to do something about the sleeves. The sleeves are just too long at this point. So yeah, I'm so like annoyed because I did a actual swatch. I knit it in the round because that's what you're doing. You're knitting this in the round, and the damn thing lied to me. Even when I wrote it down in my iPad, like question mark didn't grow. So has that ever happened to you where your swatch was like so off? It's gotta be from the weight of the fabric, that the more fabric there was, and maybe the ruffle really pulled it down. And same with the sleeves. That's a folded over cuff. Maybe both of those, it just was like a lot of weight, and so it just pulled it down. and my swatch didn't have either of those weights. So all the things, the sleeves and the body, there's an extra piece of weight at the bottom. And maybe that's what happened. Just such a bummer. So moving into what I worked on other than that, pretty much just socks, and just one pair of socks. These are the March socks, and I have a game plan for these guys. Like, how fun are these? So it's twisted rib and then a knit purl pattern, and then I repeat it 3 times, and then I'm gonna keep going. And then once I do my heel turn on the foot, I'm gonna do I think ribbing, either ribbing or corrugated ribbing or something for a bit of compression, and then do the toe, and that'll be the sock. And I think I'll even release the pattern for this because I don't think I've seen something like this. There's I have some tweaks to do to the striping part, but I think it looks really cute. These are, I kind of labeled them as my Christmas socks, and I'm realizing I don't have the ball bands. Okay, well that's disappointing. I think it was like Peace, Love, and Yarn, and it was candy cane something and then a green related color name. And I have that in a bag that I made myself with fabric that I got at my local fabric store. And I really like the bag. I think it's very, very cute. This past weekend was local yarn store day, as well as local bookstore day / indie bookstore, and I bought some yarn. I went to a store called Yarn It and Haberdashery, and I went to a store called The Nest, which is the Yarn Birds, which is the truck, and The Nest is the like yarn store that's on property, so it's not open every day. You have to like check their hours. Typically open on the weekends, but you always need to check because it is on a local, it's in a garage that's on her property, and it's she rents it out as an Airbnb. Very cool, because then she'll open up the shop and you can shop around. Anyway, at Yarn It and Haberdashery, I purchased 2 skeins of ZZ Textile Yarn Studio in the mahogany colorway in her classic DK, which is 100% superwash merino. And it's getting dark. It is 8:30 at night, so hopefully you can still see this. It's a very pretty color. And I want to make a tank top or something out of this. At Yarn Birds, I grabbed a lot of yarn that I hadn't planned on getting. She has a clearance section, so I grabbed some things on clearance and then some full price stuff. These 2 were in the clearance bin. This is Muru 10 Degrees Below. It's a DK, a superwash merino silk 50/50, and it's just a white, which I thought could always use white, and it has silk in it, so a good deal. I also grabbed this self-striping yarn. I'm not sure who the dyer is. It could be it could be Night Owl. I think she's carried some of her stuff before. I'm not sure what it is, but it's pretty. It reminds me of a Lord of the Rings colorway, like I've seen before, but I'm not sure. If you know what this is, if this looks familiar to you, let me know. I grabbed 2 Fig and Posy yarns that are in her tweed sock. One for my mom in mint chip and one for me in olives. Fig and Posy no longer dyes yarn anymore, so I grabbed some. I like her yarn. I have quite a bit of it, and I want to say my Zweig is out of Fig and Posy. I think it is. I think it's Fig and Posy and Copper Centaur are the two colors, or the two dyers that I used, I think. Then this is for a tank top. I think it's gonna be a tank top by Lily Kate. I got Spun Right Round and Life in the Long Grass. The Spun Right Round is just their Superwash Merino classic sock in the Haze colorway. And the Life in the Long Grass is the 70-20-10, which is Superwash Merino, Yak, and Nylon in Plum. I love these. And lastly, I have the Homespun House March Patreon set. So this is Jelly Bellies, Jelly Beans, and the minis are Birthday Cake, Gumdrop, and It's Friday, I'm in Love. So pretty. I love this bright yellow, but they all work so well together. I also picked up Lina edition 19, Lina edition 20. And lastly, I grabbed from the library the sock project from Summer Lee. So I'm excited to check this out. Very excited. Well, I've already looked through it, but I might knit some stuff from here. With that, it's going to be a shorter episode because I fly to Germany tomorrow. I'm going to the airport at like 12:30, I think, is when I have my Uber scheduled to come pick me up. And we fly to Toronto, and we have a 4-hour layover, which should be okay. When I was younger, we flew through Toronto to get to Frankfurt, and we missed our flight we missed our connection every single time because the terminal was under construction, and I think we had an hour to make our connection, and you're going through customs, and we had to switch terminals via a bus, and we missed it every time. I distinctly remember and then the terminal that we were in had no food. There literally no food. I remember there was one little area that you could go get a drink and a bag of chips, but there was no food in this terminal. My mom got me my Harry Potter Uno cards on one of those trips, and they're actually over here. I'm packing them because so when I'm bringing my friends with me, guys. I'm so excited. So 2 of my best friends were able to come, and then my best friend's husband is coming too, and we're flying out of the Columbus, Ohio airport, going to Toronto, and then from Toronto, Canada, we're flying into Frankfurt, and then we're gonna be in Frankfurt for a couple days. So I'm gonna show them like where I lived, my school, my brother's daycare, just stuff. I'm very excited about that. And then we have some stuff to do around Frankfurt. And then we are taking the train to Cologne, spending the night there. Then we are flying to Berlin and doing some stuff there. And then we're taking a train from Berlin to Leipzig, spend the night there, and then Leipzig to Munich, do stuff in Munich, and then fly home from Munich. I know, right? I'm so excited. It's a pretty long vacation. I have been prepping at work for over a month for me being gone for, I'm basically gone for 12 work days, across 4 weeks. So you know, I mean, it's one day on week 1 and then one day on week 4, and then I'm completely gone for weeks 2 and 3, but still a lot of time to take off for an American. I know like in Europe you can take off way more, but and I like to take long, like I like to take long vacations like that because I feel like you get more bang out of your buck for your flight, and like the time, the cost of time that it takes to get somewhere. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I feel prepped from a work standpoint. I feel very prepared for leaving for this long, and that makes me feel really good about all of that. And it makes me feel really good about going on vacation because I almost have no stress about leaving work right now, which I haven't had that feeling in a very long time. I'm just really excited. So I'm going to hopefully have a vlog about it when I come back. And yeah, I'm just super excited for vacation. I haven't done a vacation in quite a while. The last time I went to Germany was not a vacation. Yeah, I'm just so excited. So what am I gonna pack? Basically socks is the plan. So let's pull for this month's sock. Here they are. Here's my winner. Hopefully you saw it. Ash and Bumble Autumn Equinox. That'll be so fun. So I'll bring this with me. I need to wind this up because I am working tomorrow to just finish it all up. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you watched my little short vlog about local yarn shop day, local bookstore day. It was super crowded, so it felt really awkward recording like the layouts and stuff because you just got so many people's faces in your video, and it just felt weird. So it was a bit shorter than I thought it was going to be, but if you haven't seen it, check it out if you want to. It's really short. It's only like 10 minutes. And the last part is just me talking about the yarn that I bought, which I talked about in this video. So sorry, it's a duplicate, but I hope to see you in my next video. That's a weird phrase because like I'm not seeing you, but you're seeing me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you also have some really cool trips coming up. If you do, let me know down below. Would love to know what everyone's big trip is this year. And even if you're not doing a big trip, what's your trip? And even you don't even have to leave your town, right? Like your big trip could just be I'm spending an entire day shopping and I love it. I love shopping. So like I love full day shopping trips. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.